Tuned into 88.5, 104.3, www.x104fm.com. This is Extreme 104.3. The wake up call. We head up to the 10 o'clock hour for today, Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. In studio right now to take care of you for that time, from now until the end. We've got going around the table, DJ Lano, Crash, and yours truly, Crystal. Now, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Extreme 104 SVG. If you want to check in with us to see what we're wearing today and to see our facial expressions, you could log on right now and make sure to share and drop a comment.
What are you wearing today?
Me?
Yeah.
Thank God I could put on some clothes on my back and leave home and come to a job.
Wow. And that just describes what you're wearing.
Yeah, clothes.
Clothes. Okay.
Clothes. Thank you, Lord.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to find something to be thankful for, even if it is rain, even if it is pencil, pen, $5 in your back pocket. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it's still there.
As long as you have some cash in your pocket. As long as you can pay your bus fare. You know, I want to say a special good morning to the nurses and the doctors down at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. You know, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well.
I get 225.
I
Wow.
got to 25 very back,
The interruption is really.
Yeah, but you stop talking.
You
so
stop
tell-
talking.
Because I just interject. Oh, I get 35 cents in my pocket.
No, I don't remember.
It was not an
I don't remember
interruption.
looking for money to like
Anyhow,
No, you stop talking.
Doctors, nurses, big
I
up
don't-
yourself at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital.
I know
Yeah.
like exactly. I have money.
Okay, Lano.
Is that good?
Lano has money, guys.
Have
He can pay van today.
2,025 cents.
Yes, that is great.
You don't have to walk
That
home.
is great. He doesn't have to walk home.
Technically, yes.
So
But-
you
He can, and that van does walk your side, right? Name Brooklyn. That does walk your side, right? So you
Brooklyn,
could
New
pay.
York.
You could pay Brooklyn to go home today.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Good morning, people. Good morning. Check in on the WhatsApp as well, 4301043. The number to call, 4571043. Yesterday was a kind of a day. It's like every single headline was a depressing headline.
All right, just coming off a
Well,
weekend.
It was bittersweet to read that the body of the female that was found last week Thursday morning was identified. That was bittersweet. And then you saw headlines of 2 people being shot, 3 people being shot, 2 dying from that. Sun ain't set yet. And you know, normally we're accustomed to these things happen after sunset. Sun ain't set yet, broad daylight. People being shot up in Montrose. And then there was another headline in the morning of somebody, a young man, 23-year-old, being missing, went to the beach and didn't go back home. Later on that day, yesterday, Coast Guard would have retrieved his body at sea. 3 depressing headlines. The first one we're going to deal with is the 17-year-old female whose body was found last week Thursday at Murray's Road.
Maurice Road. Yeah.
In a bag.
Crocus back.
In a bag in a gutter. After some time, because you don't die today and your body just starts decomposing right away. I want to give kudos and a special good morning to the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I think that was an excellent move to share photographs of her tattoos
And the chain that she was wearing,
and the chain.
which was good for the public because it helped identify who she was.
Yeah, people might be familiar with her, especially her closest friends and family might be familiar with the tattoos. And, you know, because there are instances where, or there might have been a case where the family might suspect that their person is missing, but you might be calling somebody where you think she is, and they keep telling you that, yes, she's okay or whatever. And you will just, feel
Brush it
comfortable.
off because because you trust that person.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just assume that it's
Like,
not
okay,
your person.
she's good.
Hopefully people could look at tattoos differently now. It helps out in this case
To identify you.
to identify the person.
Yeah, I know.
Because if she didn't have the tattoos, would we have been talking about a different thing this morning? Would we have been saying how come nobody came forward to try to identify the body?
But was there missing?
She was not.
She was never
From what
There
I
was no-
gathered so far, she was not reported missing.
Which is kind of strange, weird in a way. I mean, I don't want to point fingers or anyone, but I'm just saying in terms of like being a parent or a family member. You have a young lady of, well, she's 17. Wouldn't you want to see your child? Wouldn't you want to see a relative? Wouldn't you be keeping in contact with them, whether it's via phone, whether somebody is saying, hey, she's okay, wouldn't you want to see that person in person? I'm just saying.
It depends. It depends on the. It depends
situation-
on the relationship between
The
the
parent.
parent and child. Like generally
I
speaking,
mean, but
right?
there must be at least
If-
a relative.
Okay, so if it is, and then you have to go. Okay, the first point, parent and child. It depends on the relationship between the parent and child. If it is not a very good relationship, where it is a customary thing for the child probably not to be around the parent, or for the child and the parent not to communicate very often, if they do not hear from that person, that child, or the mother or the father, in about 5 days, a lot can happen in 5 days. It is a customary thing. So there would not be anything alarming about, oh, I ain't speak to my daughter in 5 days, because it's a customary thing. Another relative, I'm not too sure what the relationship was like between the young lady and the parents, or any other relative, but habits and movements, all of these things come into play. If it's habitual that you do not communicate on a daily basis,
Yeah, you won't think anything.
then you see how easy it is to not miss person, because this is a customary thing, and a lot can happen in 2 days, 3 days, a day. Is that something that we should be considering? I don't know.
I think
Or-
it is. Keep in contact with your relatives, especially how things are going now.
No.
Yeah. But it should be something that you grew up to, where you always keep in contact with a family member.
Not if you don't like the family members.
Well, I mean, now you and everybody in the family member going to be bad. They must at least have someone that you keep in contact with that could at least give a heads up to say, hey, yeah, she's good. We went out there yesterday. You know? I'm sure you have a family member who you usually hit up from time to time. You know, you hang out with.
And then they're friends. It doesn't
then
have to
they're
be
friends.
family. They're
Exactly.
friends.
So it's very, very, very weird to me that no one was out saying, wait, I haven't heard from such and such in a very long time. I haven't seen her.
You see the situation just come tricky just like that. So you were saying that it could be a normal thing not to talk to them. And Cash is saying no. I mean, you have to see your relative eventually. So if he ain't seeing them at all,
Yeah.
you can think nothing wrong, but you can say, oh well.
It depends on the
And as she
relationship.
mentioned, friends as well. Must have
If
a
you don't
close
talk
friend
to
or
your
something.
friends, you could have a close friend, but you don't have to talk to them every single day.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you, as you say, a routine. They must be like, hey, we just meet up every Friday or something.
Every Friday, and between
mean,
this
yes.
Friday and next Friday, something happens.
True.
The next, I remember she was found on Thursday.
Yeah.
How long was she gone for?
That is the other thing.
Where was she living? Who was her closest contact?
And the thing is, she has to be missing for some while now because her body was decomposing.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday is stories online. Listen, this is very disheartening. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Stories online saying the friends are the ones who identified the body.
Friends.
One story said the friends. They saw the pictures, they saw the tattoos, and
Like, wait,
alarms went off.
this is such and such.
And when you look at the photograph, a very small person, a very small 17-year-old.
Yeah, she is very, very smart.
And then you learn that the body was found with
Stab wounds.
Yeah, multiple stab wounds.
what the hell, man?
Looks like she was tortured.
What the hell?
And you listen to that. It's crazy.
That's serious aggression. That's serious passion, quote unquote.
Makes you think, like, why you don't even what she could have done to
What the hell, man?
what she could have done to for that to be done to her. Because to me, she's a child. She's a child. It's a
That's
child.
crazy.
What could she have possibly done to get that kind of treatment?
And not only that, fits her into a bag
That is some real
and
messed up,
then dump her somewhere
messed
where
up.
you believe
messed up.
that nobody's gonna find her. What the hell, man?
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to my extreme friends. A long time I haven't tuned into you.
Yeah, boss.
Hey, good morning.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm
Well,
alright.
I'm here just listening to you with your thing this morning, and it's a very touching thing, eh? It's very touching, and I have to be very concerned because I'm a parent, and I'm a very concerned parent to my children. I don't make joke with them at all. I don't skylark with them. And I always try to update my children when you're going somewhere with who you see, and always keep contact with whom. Doesn't matter with whom, someone at whom. Now, I was listening to this thing and I've checked this thing out, eh? And so far we have not yet found the killer, right? Rightfully to say, right? Nobody has identified anybody who was killer. So for me,
Nah, nobody in it.
For me, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me, for me, I would say we have a serial killer on the run,
Serial.
on the loose,
Serial.
on the loose, right? Because we don't know who is next, or let's hope not. There's not a next one, but with someone like that, you never know what can happen, right? And just me saying here for a lot of young people who are listening, be careful on the streets when you walk, because there are a lot of young people right now who's going out carnivaling and partying and drinking alcohol and all these sort of things, and getting the hype, the friends, and going out there, and this kind of thing is happening in our country. We are too small for this, and we have to be very careful. Now, when something like this go wrong, and if I don't hear from my kids within a day or within the morning, I go and call the brothers or sisters or whoever to find out about them.
Yeah.
Because every morning, and this ain't no joke, every morning and evening and during the day, I call my kids to make sure that they're okay. Even my son went football to Dominica. I call him in Dominica once he was up there all the time to check on him and make sure he's okay. My daughters in Canawan, I call them every day to make sure that they're okay, and my granddaughter and everybody's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm always keeping in touch with
Call
my
our
children.
message. Keep in touch.
We need to really, and it had the parent, or if this kid is living with the parent, had said something, who knows? Someone could have said, okay, I've seen her with Crystal, I've seen her with such and such, I've seen her with this person the last time hanging out and what, and then something could move from there, but you have nothing to go on. And when you don't have anything to go on, it's a hard thing. Losing a young child like that, you're very, very young, haven't grow up and haven't really explore and do nothing in the world, haven't have any children or decide to do anything of their own, of their choice to make that goal and that achievement. It's very hard. It's very, very hard.
All right.
Yeah, so I wish that something could happen, some miracle can happen that we could find. But in the meantime, for all the young people, all the young girls, be very careful out there, because for me, there is a loose maniac out, and with each and every committee now should get a committee gathering, like a
Neighborhood watch, like a neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch. People in the neighborhood, you are supposed to look out for your neighbors, look out for your friends, look out for your loved ones, because you won't want this thing to happen in your village or your area.
All right.
Or to your family. So we're supposed to look out for each other. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Same to you. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
It's funny how you said that he usually calls his children every day. Yeah, I think we need to be more responsible as parents. That's another thing. You can't have a 17-year-old just out and about doing as they please.
Yeah, but how you so sure she was out and about doing that shit, please?
Yeah, well, And you read in one of the articles she usually goes out.
Right, but I don't mean that. I mean
That is one article too.
Yeah.
that don't mean she unruly.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the
Was
age.
she,
I'm
was
looking.
she
I'm
living
looking.
by herself?
Yeah,
Was she living with somebody else?
I'm looking at me at 17. I couldn't have been outside. I
That-
couldn't
but
even
that-
sleep. I know different circumstances for different people. I understand that, but as a responsible person or a parent, you would try to have some kind of boundaries that your child have. I'm just saying.
Could you stop a child from running away?
No, you can't.
Okay.
But as a parent,
As a parent,
you're
it's
in
hard.
charge of the child.
You are in charge of the child. But here's
Because
the
let's
reality, right?
just say-
Here's the reality. Okay,
Mhm.
continue.
Let's just say she did something like it was a crime or something. Who would have been responsible? The one to pick up the parent? To pick up the parent?
Not necessarily.
Hmm?
Not necessarily. They would
Because by
have-
law you won't be charged unless you're over 18.
Okay, so there are some parent-children relationships that are perfect. There are others where you have really good relationship, parent and children. You always communicate, you always talk, you always know where one another is, you always with one another, nothing or hardly anything goes wrong. Any conflict, the two of you can sit down and speak properly and sort out your business as parent and child. There are some that needs work, and there are some relationships between parents and children, especially in cases where the parents probably don't know what the hell they're doing with the child. That is just so horrible that sometimes the child might just pack up the bags and just leave home. Don't want anything to do with the mother, or don't want anything to do with the father. Don't communicate with the mother or the father or anybody else, because some children, they just go through a lot in their youthful stage. Well, children is youth, so that's being redundant. My apologies. But like when they're growing up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, some children go through a really hard time. And it's difficult to have a good relationship with the parents. Right? In situations where the relationship between the parent and the child, and the parent is trying their very best with the child, but the parent does not know exactly what to do and where to turn to try to put that child in line, when the child is actually probably suffering from depression, anxiety, some other mental illness, something going wrong, maybe the biological father not in the child's life, something else, maybe some abuse somewhere, and the parent just does not know how to deal. I can see, and this is not something that is very pleasing to society, but I can see how a parent might lead to becoming hopeless or giving up. It is not right, but I could see if you're trying and you don't know what to do as an adult, you're dealing with your own adult stuff, plus you're dealing with a child. Make it even worse if the child ain't biologically yours.
I make it was a teenager, rebellious, the whole rebellious phase.
So I could see it. It ain't right, but I could see it, and I could see how it works out, and I could see why some young people run away from home. Do you know what is going through the mother's mind right now? Grief, perhaps. Failure, like you feel like you fail.
You know, I'm hearing a story, but I'll have to make a call and see if I confirm that.
You know what I'm hearing too is
Oh, yeah.
that has to be confirmed that who we're told is the mother is not in fact the biological mother,
Right, all of that too.
and
So
but that has to be confirmed.
yeah, so there's a whole lot of ring me wrong.
But I think the core of this, right, is what could get into a person to want to kill somebody in that man, to want to kill somebody point blank, and want to kill a 17-year-old female in
What
that
kind
manner.
of supposed to do, as Cash said, to get that kind of death?
What? A 17-year-old female.
Yes, what can you do? What kind of trouble miss
What kind of
whatever
anger that
thing
person could have let you
Yeah.
build up to do them now?
I am actually at a loss for words, so I'm very quiet right now because I don't know what to say. Honestly,
You know, somebody to touch on what you were saying, Crystal. Someone is
So-
saying, until you have a child at that age, then you will understand when teenagers want to do what they want. They don't care who they hurt to get their way. You can beat, you can talk. Some just don't listen. So it's a blessing to have an obedient and understanding teenage child.
you see that
So
the thing.
please don't judge.
That's the thing, right? Remember, right? Well, me back in the days,
Mhm.
as a teenager, I couldn't do them stuff that happening here.
Why
now.
is that?
Because my mother would have killed me.
Because your mother was strict.
Not really strict, but she was commanding. She was saying,
So she had that.
Your mom was
Yeah.
strict. Your mom was
no,
strict.
strict and
Commanding.
commanding is two different things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know my mother was strict.
Strict is when she know why you're gonna be at all.
Nah.
But
I don't-
like if she had a bad feeling about a place, she would say, nah.
certain people you're hanging around, your mom will be
Right.
like, hey, that is not the crowd it's supposed to be.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Right. So all that comes with good
Luckily, you
parenting.
didn't jump through the window and go by business.
Yeah.
I had a grandma that used to jump through the window on the runway.
What?
So the thing that we have now is that
Yeah.
good parenting is usually a factor of some of these things too. Because if you're a good parent, you would.
Man, you could be a good parent and a child unruly. So
I'm not
I
saying
am
no,
anything
but
else.
there are fundamental things that you learn from a very young age that you take with you through life. So once you have these core values in place, Lano, it don't care how bad you go. You're gonna know at the end of the day, oi, something that I'm doing here is wrong. And you go bounce back. But sometimes it just be too late and then we end up with these kind of situations. But you punching out, Chris? Tull.
6:48. There is a part two to this one because some people are a bit upset that the area representative for East Kingstown, Mr. Bramble there, recorded a 1 minute and 3 seconds, I believe, video of him sitting next to the mother of the young lady. And
A photo up?
yeah,
Oh, cha.
saying it wasn't
Why?
very pleasing.
Why, brother? Why?
Some people thought that it was okay. Somebody says their mother and father careless. What if her father was not in her life? I'm not sure. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I-
Considering her father careless. A very sad situation and very unfortunate. Even unruly, not unruly, unruly, obedient in your house, outside your house, on the beach, on the street, at a party, at home, in church, wherever you are. I think the point remains is why such a crime against a 17-year-old female? And what is today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days. It took 4 days for the body to be identified.
Another one here. So parents have their favorite child and others have the black sheep. So don't blame the kids.
Day number 5. Let's put it that way. I'm going to put it that way. Day number 5. Until the perpetrator is caught. Day number 5. So some other responses are coming in here, but let's take in a little bit of music. We're going to head to your X News, Angela Weather Reports, and head up to the top of the hour. All right?